A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 13. I'm Ritwika Gupta. Now, in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, technology is not just an enabler, but the very engine powering business transformation and shaping the future of industries. In this context, Celebal Technologies stands as a global leader in data, AI and enterprise solutions with a sharp focus on enabling digital transformation and enterprise reinvention. With a team of over 3,000 professionals across the world, the company is at the forefront of integrating traditional enterprise systems with modern cloud innovation. To learn more about their journey, my colleague Pooja Jain visited their Jaipur office to speak with the founders. Anupam Gupta, co-founder, President North America, Celebal Technologies; Anirudh Kala, CEO and co-founder, Celebal Technologies; and Hemant Mathur, Chief Financial Officer, Celebal Technologies.
Anupam, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here on the Leaders of Tomorrow.
Thanks for having me.
My understanding is that Celebal Technologies is rapidly expanding its footprint across all things data, all domains of artificial intelligence. That said, what was the vision behind taking a startup across international shores in overseas markets such as Europe, Asia, and the Americas?
So Celebal started at two places. My home garage in Houston, Texas, in America.
Sure.
And a basement office not too far from where Anirudh lives in Jaipur, right?
Right.
So India and US were the initial two markets, right? And then over the time we realized we can take the same innovation across the globe. We can replicate the same playbook all across, right? So we first started with Americas and Asia Pacific, Japan, and of course India.
Right.
And then a couple of years back we took it to Europe, and rest is history.
Right. Well, I'm perhaps stating the obvious here, but India is increasingly being recognized as the world's leading tech hub, right? Give me a deeper understanding of how you believe Indian enterprises are essentially contributing to the next wave of digital transformation, sir.
So India always had the talent, right? We have some of the best engineering talent. I'm a product of the engineering talent here
Right.
from IIT Bombay. So there is nothing that we cannot accomplish sitting in India. And I think enterprise cloud has made this a level playing field, right? So sitting in a tier 2 town like Jaipur, we could do the same innovation, having access to the same technology and scale that any large company or a Silicon Valley startup would have, right? So that gives us the confidence that we could do it.
Well, speaking of confidence, now Celebal Technologies partners with the likes of Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Databricks, and the list goes on. How do these partnerships essentially enable Celebal Technologies to soup up and provide an all the more amplified, all the more resilient and agile solution, while at the same time maintaining the unique value proposition of what is Celebal?
So technology platforms like Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, and data platforms like Databricks, right? These partnerships are extremely important for us, right? These companies offer these technology platforms, and we build enterprise-grade industry solutions on top of that, right? These partnerships also give us that access to global customers, which we otherwise would not have, right? So we build innovative solutions, and they help us go to market and accelerate our customer acquisition across all these geographies.
So it's a win-win, essentially.
It's a win-win, absolutely.
And when you look at the workforce, which now spans the globe here at Celebal Technologies, what's your approach to talent development to ensure that your teams are essentially future ready and continue to remain relevant?
So the technologies that we are working were always cutting edge, right? And there is no talent available for data and AI when we were starting, right? It's very early days of data and AI and enterprise cloud. So we realized we really need to tap into the raw talent and then groom it ourselves. So we started the Center of Excellence and internship programs with almost 50 colleges or universities all across, right? Starting with Jaipur and neighboring cities, but then also going to the NCR region and Bangalore and Hyderabad, etc. Right? So we practically groomed all this talent into these technologies, and that's it. Yeah.
Well, one of the challenges that you face here at Celebal Technologies is you're competing with small startups on the one hand and global consulting firms on the other. So what's the key to essentially closing those clients and remaining resilient in this business, sir?
So I go back to our tagline, enterprise cloud, all the innovation meeting the traditional enterprise systems, right? So there are companies who are good at data and AI.
Right.
There are companies who are good at ERP systems and industry solutions.
Sure.
There are very few who could do the both, right? So we bring these two worlds together.
Right.
And that's why our customers like us, and that gives us the power to compete with the best of the best in the world.
You straddle and you strike that balance.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, we can't possibly have this conversation without bringing up artificial intelligence, right? It's a buzzword, but your view in particular about how you believe it will shape the broader business landscape with respect to not just business, but people, processes, and ideally, what's the equation or the presence that you'd like for Celebal Technologies to have across that backdrop?
So my co-founder and CEO Anirudh will talk about the various Agentic AI solutions that we are building. But I'm going to talk about how this fundamentally changes the equation for us,
Please,
right? We are in the enterprise consulting space, right? It's no longer going to be about bodies and headcounts, right? It's going to be more about innovation and outcomes, right? So we are trying to imbibe AI into every aspect of our business, right? Whether it is development, solutioning, how we do marketing, sales, HR, recruitment process, right? One of my personal focus is to embed AI into everything we do in our daily lives, right? To accelerate and to optimize our operations.
Well, sir, by way of closing comments, right? Any parting words of advice or words of wisdom you might have for aspiring entrepreneurs that may be watching, that are looking to make a mark themselves?
I think I would say just keep at it, right? What has served me is my persistence and resilience, and just keep innovating. Don't worry about the competition too much, right? And that's what has served me and my co-founder Anirudh in the journey.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. And Anupam, we wish you and team all the continued success, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back to IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 13. In the spotlight today is Celebal Technologies. Take a look.
Anirudh, it's a pleasure to have you here on the Leaders of Tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
What's taking center stage today is AI-driven transformation.
Correct.
It's seemingly permeated nearly all aspects of life. But what are some of the underlying technologies, emerging technologies that are powering that transformation? Your thoughts?
See, Celebal has been at the forefront of AI since its inception, right from the age of classical machine learning to deep learning to vision to IoT to text, then to LLMs and now Agentic, right? We've seen all forms, all the journeys and how organizations have transformed or in fact leveraged these technologies right from 2010, where we are today. I believe where Agentic can take us now will be the biggest leap ever in the history of how AI has transformed industries. Agentic overall, I believe, as a ecosystem will not just impact the industry flavors, it'll also go horizontal. That means from HR, admin, travel, finance, the horizontal shared services within any organization. And then of course, every organization, whether it's manufacturing, oil and gas, retail CPG, HLS, financial services, it'll have its impact in the domain-based use cases.
Given that India is the world's undisputed tech hub today, we're also leading the cusp in terms of digital transformation. But tell me what you believe this country is doing differently.
Well, I would say, the biggest differentiator for us has been the GCCs, the establishment of the GCCs. These have been the real differentiator for us because now we're seeing some of the largest organizations on the planet setting these up in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, Noida, and even tier 2 towns, right? And that's because of the talent, that's one. It used to be, thought of as a cost center, let's say in the early phase of 2015, 2016. Today, if you look at them, these are the strategic decision-making entities.
Right.
The thought leadership, all the strategic decision-making, or for the matter, any new innovation avenues, right? Whatever needs to be done. For example, think of any HLS customer, right? I have seen drug discovery being implemented in GCC. Now, that's beyond comprehension. I would have never imagined that, let's say, 10 years back, but that's happening today as we speak.
Far more than strictly back office support.
Absolutely, way beyond that.
Right.
So that's one of the things, and I believe as more of these strategic decision making happens in these GCCs, the real value of the skill that India presents, the huge availability of skill sets, right? That will come to fruition in its true value, because now this talent that used to go to the US or to Europe for a specific these kind of scenarios for the business use cases, that will happen here in these cities, in these GCCs. And that will give more and more opportunities for growth in the country, more and more, of course, employment opportunities. But then there will be a race towards innovation.
Right.
So India was always known to be delivering services, for example, give the most mundane task or support, right? So you'll have huge support centers, but they were not innovation centers. Now, when innovation starts here, that means it will bring India to the forefront of the real AI value chain.
Sure, a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely.
But Anirudh, when you look at the broader digital transformation landscape, which industries do you believe are the swiftest to adopt that transformation? And how at Celebal Technologies are you essentially supporting them such that they remain not just relevant, but resilient?
See, retail CPG specifically commoditized data long back. So that means they had these modern data platforms, let's say around 2018, 2019 or 2020. So that means they've seen that data coming in their data platform long back, and they were able to leverage it better in terms of implementing AI use cases. So the fastest, the swiftest movers in this space has always been the retail CPG. Whereas organizations like oil and gas and manufacturing, they've been more associated with the legacy ecosystems. It's very hard to actually move data out of their legacy enterprise and bring it on a data platform like say like a Databricks or with our AWS or Azure, and then realize its true potential. So where we are seeing the differentiator for us, has been the ability to acquire data from these legacy ecosystems and bring it to these modern data platforms. And then of course on top of it run all the potential AI use cases, open up new avenues of innovation for the customer and new avenues of revenue for us. So industries, I would say retail CPG is of course there, but what will catch up in the future is manufacturing, oil and gas, HLS and financial services.
Well, Anirudh, since you brought up Microsoft and Databricks and Azure, a question that I have for you was around the partnerships that Celebal Technologies has with these industry giants to offer essentially an all the more cutting edge solution. But the flip side to that is, as founders, co-founders of an enterprise like yours, you also want to essentially ensure that your value proposition as a company remains resilient, intact, and completely independent. How do you strike that balance?
Well, you're right to an extent. When you work with let's say a particular platform or a particular OEM, you tend to go their way. Right. But the fact remains, we're talking about not just any other OEM, we're talking about Microsoft or AWS, which are giants and in fact the industry trend setters. The way it has helped us, is it's by the virtue of these partnerships, we've been able to benchmark our products, our solutions with respect to the industries they serve. So for example, if I now go with Microsoft in an oil and gas organization, I know where is Microsoft standing today? And what exactly is the proposition that Microsoft has with that organization and where we can augment that value proposition. So for us, that has helped a lot. As founders, yes, of course, we want to be cloud agnostic or let's say OEM neutral and so on. I would say today, if you look at Databricks, for example, it's cloud agnostic. It works on all three clouds. And today, I think I've seen more organizations going for multiple clouds. So it's not that you only work with Microsoft in a customer or only work with Databricks or only work with SAP. You'll see all three as in the customer. So I think for us, it becomes even more qualitative outcome, because then since we work with all three or four hyperscalers and platforms like Databricks,
Right.
our ability to kind of mix and match these two platforms in order to serve the real value to the customer becomes paramount,
Sure.
or the probably the most important outcome.
Right.
Right. So for us, I think it's a blessing in disguise that we work with multiple hyperscalers, and we are so well aligned with them that we're able to augment the value proposition that they also provide to their customers. So I would say it's a win-win for both the hyperscalers as well as for us.
No, absolutely. And, Anirudh, I think it's an unprecedented time in human history, given all the geopolitical volatility
Sure.
that surrounds us, right? And that, of course, periodically leads to supply chain disruption, if I could call it that.
Yeah.
Right? How does technology in such a scenario typically come to the rescue of these companies?
See, supply chain disruptions were there. I mean, probably they are more prominent or conspicuous today as we see it.
Sure.
I see, for example, Agentic in this space is really helping organizations to become self-sufficient, right? I could talk about a manufacturing organization where they've got plants all across the globe,
Sure.
and they want production and execution to be exactly same in each of these plants.
Right.
Right? That's
Yes.
not possible. With the advent of the agentic ecosystems, you could actually leverage agents that are built the same way to serve different purposes.
Sure.
So that means the way I could run my production plant here in let's say in India, I would be able to run that same way in Africa or in Philippines or in Malaysia.
Right.
Right. So first of all, my ability to do these different kinds of tasks would not depend on the geographies,
Sure.
rather depend on the processes and the way I set them.
Right.
Second is on the ability of the tech talent, right? I think that's where India gets the advantage because the tech sits here, right?
Yes.
So the tech talent will of course ensure that all these processes and transformations that are happening in these organizations across the globe will be epicentered here, but would be distributed all across the globe in the same way as it would be done, let's say, for one geography from one to the other.
Sure.
And the supply chain disruptions, as you pointed out specifically, I think it's going to be the only gap in the supply chain would be of the talent, right? And as we go from here, let's say in 5 years, as Satya says, it'll not be talent, it'll be agents. So if I'm talking about myself,
Yes.
I'll be qualified on the agents that I bring along with myself, not just my skill sets. So I think these supply chain deficits will actually benefit India even more because again, the
Yes.
talent sits here.
And when you look at the broader artificial intelligence pie,
Yeah.
if I could call it that,
Sure.
to your mind, where do the most promising opportunities lie? And what role or legacy or lasting impression would you like Celebal Technologies to play in that whole equation?
See, there is no doubt AI is creating more avenues for innovation within organizations, right? And contact center is a big area. Now, I'm not saying that it would cut down the jobs for the agents, the human agents that are sitting there. Rather, it would cut down the queues for the customers.
Right.
That means the agent can service more tickets in a day as they're doing today. So contact center is one big area we're seeing.
Right.
We're seeing shop floor automations using vision, right? You got to have people for quality testing
Right.
of SKUs. That would be automated.
Right.
When I say automated again, it would ensure that there is nothing that's skipping the testing eyes,
Sure.
right? Then in sales and services, could we sell more? That means I'm not cutting down on my sales force.
Right.
I'm rather, helping my sales force to do more.
Right.
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 So AI as a means to help organization will only mean, from a responsible AI's perspective, would only mean that it's adding more value to the organization, ensuring that all these mundane tasks on which we all spend time in
Right.
could be cut down. I mean, from the shop floor to the top floor.
Right.
And then, of course, a lot of these tasks where a lot of human intervention is needed,
Right.
that could be automated. That means more of these tasks could be done. So it'll become paramount for all of us, whether I am the CEO or whether there is a managing director or there is a general manager or a product manager or a developer or a production plant manager and so on and so forth. Any persona we talk about, it'll be important for them to leverage AI because it'll of course help them to achieve maybe 10x of what they are doing today.
And how closely aligned is the Celebal Technologies mission and vision with the scenario that you've just described?
See, Celebal is a global organization. We've got 15 subsidiaries across the planet and in 15 countries with more than 19 offices. We are working very closely with all our customers and helping them understand how AI could be leveraged in their ecosystem. So we've developed this concept of center of excellence for manufacturing, for retail CPG, for energy, HLS in financial services. We believe that what we offer in that center of excellence for our customers would help them envisage that this is how they could leverage AI, this is how they can cut down their costs or help optimize their top line or help optimize their bottom line or do more in their productivity outcomes. That means it'll be an inconspicuous benefit, which will of course reflect in their bottom line in some time.
Right.
We are currently working with all these industries and building domain-based Agentic AI solutions. So basically, we are going to these organizations and helping them ride exactly where it matters the most. Given that we do SAP, given that we do Databricks, AWS and Azure, I think it's a very deadly combination, because working with the larger enterprises means working with legacy ecosystems,
Right.
the legacy ERPs that they've got. Now bringing that data out to the cloud, running innovation, running AI use cases, running Gen AI use cases, running Agentic. I think all of this with the center of excellence is what we are offering to our customers today.
Well, Anirudh, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us, and we look forward to what lies ahead.
Thank you so much.
Hemant, welcome to the Leaders of Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Now, we've had a very detailed conversation with Anupam and Anirudh on all things tech. My question to you is, what can you tell us about the Celebal Technologies capital structure, sir?
Well, I'm proud to say that we have 3 institutional investors on our cap table. Both founders put together still hold a majority, and there is a slice reserved for ESOPs. For the first 6 years of its journey, Celebal was bootstrapped with a handsome double-digit EBITDA. In September 22, the first institutional investor, Norwest, came in that fueled our growth journey.
Sure.
After that, we had Databricks Ventures, which made an investment in 2023. And we just concluded our most recent Series B round, where Norwest co-invested with Incred in May 25.
Well, congratulations on all the success to date. And in your capacity as a chief financial officer, I think one of the leading challenges must be balancing compliance with growth. All easier said than done. How do you go about doing so?
We win business on back of our tech innovations and agility. Innovation would need investments, and agility would need to balance common sense with complexity.
Sure.
We have had 3 due diligence rounds, and we have developed some understandings on how to run the show. We are a tech company, and we use a kind of our own tech stack to balance some of the products that we use from market. So we have an enterprise grade ERP, we have HRMS, and we have some homegrown systems like timesheet tracking tool, like a pod level profitability dashboard that we have built on Databricks. So we balance them, and as CFO, I collaborate with various global leaders in sales and delivery to share a common vision, and so that we remain aligned to compliance.
Well, under the vision that you've very carefully curated, we wish you and your team at Celebal Technologies all the very best for what lies ahead.
Thank you.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 13. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.